Hello, beautiful, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Evelyn, and for the past several weeks, I have been sharing my GLP-1 journey with you. But this is also the place that I share my insights and perspectives with you from time to time as well. Y'all remember last week's video? Was it last week? I think so. Where I had broke my tape measure and I said I was going to order me a new one. And so Amazon had these little cute small ones that you can retract, which I thought was super cute. And this is way more flexible too than the one that I was working with. It was a little bit more, the plastic was very like hard. So I'm back in business with my tape measure, but I won't be using that till the end of May. Today is Saturday, May 3rd. And we have some gorgeous weather here in Colorado today, and I'm so very grateful. And this weekend kicked off festival season, and it's gonna be a jam-packed summer with a lots to do outside, so I'm super excited. Hope you had an awesome week this week. As I stated in my last video, I had my doctor's appointment yesterday, Friday, May 2nd. And I have been trying actually to get on the Wegovy, but my insurance requires pre-auth. And the reason why I was trying to switch to Wegovy is really from a cost-saving standpoint, because the compounded medication that I've been on, for those of you who do not know, I've been on compounded semaglutide the entire time. Recent dose was 22 to 25. I'll have a dose update for you in a second. But basically, I still don't have the approval for the Wegovy. So we're gonna stick with the compound. Thankfully, the compounded pharmacy that my doctor uses, which is Strive Pharmacy, they seem to be having no issues with getting the compounded semaglutide, which I know that the issue is with tirzepatide, and that's not something that I've been on at all in my journey. And I feel for everybody who is nervous about not having access to their medication. But for me, looks like I'm gonna be sticking to the compounded semaglutide for a while. I said dosage update. So one of the things we talked about in my appointment, was like this balance with the troches, the testosterone that I'm taking, and then the semaglutide. And, he was explaining to me, and remember I mentioned Stephanie several times on this video. She still is a nurse practitioner, but she was absent, so I switched, and so now I'm seeing a doctor at the office instead of the nurse practitioner. Anyway, he was telling me that really the testosterone could be increasing my appetite for food, and so trying to balance that out, because currently right now I take half of the dosage of testosterone that I'm prescribed, which is I think it's 1.5. Let me double check this script. It's it's a 1.5 milligram troche that I am currently taking. Anyways, but I only take half of the 1.5 milligram. But even with that, y'all know I've been talking about facial hair for months now. And so even with that, the only negative side effect has been the facial hair. But I was kind of not shocked, because it kind of made sense of what it does, like in terms of increasing metabolism and things like that. To hear that, that could be the reason why I was kind of feeling like, the semaglutide wasn't working as strongly as it was initially. But then also I've been on it for 40 weeks now too. So of course, as your body getting adjusted to everything. Long story made short, in the conversation, we decided to go up in dosage, not to exceed 35 units, which is fine, because the syringes that I have only go up to 30. So I'm going to be starting next week, the week of May 5th, I'll be injecting 30 units per week. The other update is I actually switched locations. So this whole entire time, with the exception of one time where I tried a different injection site, I have been injected in my abdomen area, alternating left and right. I think several months ago, I tried to do it in my thigh one time, and it just kind of didn't work well. But I would, of course, watch a ton of videos, and some people change their sites and stuff. So I was like, well, maybe, it's been 40 weeks now. Maybe it's time to switch up my site. So I did this week, and I actually did notice a difference because I've never heard anybody else talk about this, but I don't know about you, and maybe it's just because I'm on the compounded version, which is laced with B12. But when I inject it, usually I can taste, like, after a few minutes, like say about 10 to 15 minutes, I can kind of taste the medicine behind my tongue. It's an awkward feeling, but anyways, and that had went away for a few months, probably since January. I haven't noticed it, and then when I injected in my thigh, I noticed it, so I was like, okay, this definitely feels like it's gonna, kick in and be stronger, and it so far so good. We'll see what the 30 does next week when I go up to that. I'll keep you posted. And now for this week's weigh-in. As you may recall, when I go to the doctor for my 6 weeks checkup, I get on what's called an InBody, and it produces this lovely document that I've gone into great detail with in a prior video, so you'll have to check for that in the playlist. But Friday, I was so happy because I finally saw some results, and I weighed in at 182.7. Starting weight, as a reminder, was 204 back in August, and yes, that is a very slow crawl, about 22 pounds. But most of my journey has been focused on body recomp. I lift every single time I go to the gym. I do cardio, but lately I've started to back off of cardio and just really go ham on the weights, and I just love it. I absolutely love it. And so that's going well. My body fat overall is still very high. We're at 44.3 as of this week, and that's slightly up from the last time I was at the doctor, and the last time was 43.4. But the doctor explained to me, he was like, well, your numbers, it's not much, really a huge difference between the 43.4 and the 44.3. Plus I was coming off my cycle too on Friday. So there's a lot of factors at play. For those of you who are on the medication, you already know, it's just all the things. And then the other thing that I wanted to share with you, aside from dosage change and switching my site, injection site, is that I wonder what type of books you might be reading right now. I am on a quest to stay like engaged and educated, entertained too, but mostly educated. And currently right now I am entertaining 3 books. One is a hard copy that I'm reading with my daughter. My daughter actually purchased this book. She's gonna be 25 this month. And so she purchased this book for us to read together. And so like on the weekends, we discuss the chapter that we read for the week. And it's really interesting. It's Women Who Run with Wolves, Myths and Stories of the Wild Woman Archetype. And it's kind of like all these different stories from different cultures that really talk about women and like how we are and how we're uniquely made. And so it's been a very interesting read so far. Definitely not one I would have picked out on my own. So thanks to my daughter Morgan for picking that out. The other 2 books are audio books that I'm reading right now, or finishing actually. I should finish those this weekend. And those are Fight, which is a political book, and it goes into the campaign history for the Harris and Trump campaigns from last year. And I find that book so good, so very good, because I like that kind of stuff. And then the last book that I'm reading is more from a personal development standpoint, and it's called The Big Leap. I'm listening to that on Spotify. Both of those audiobooks on Spotify. So it's really been good. So I'm really curious about what books you are reading. If you'll share them with me in the comment section, like a book that you would recommend that you maybe feel would change your life, or what you're doing in general. I'm curious. I would love to engage with you a little bit more than what I have been. I know I have a very small audience, which is totally fine with me. Intimacy is awesome for me, and the type of learner that I am. So if you've been reading something that you think I might like based on the things you've learned about me so far, I would love to read your comments and engage with you. But that is my update. I will not be back again with another GLP-1 update until the end of May. Actually, I was gonna say Memorial Day weekend, but actually no, May 30th is of course after Memorial Day, so I'll be back the last weekend in May with an update, and hopefully by then I'll be in the 170s. I'm praying that I'll be in the 170s by then. In the meantime, I hope you remember that the future you is waiting on you, and I hope you have an awesome week. Forgot to share that I was going to show these pics today, which was taken Saturday, May 3rd. But I'll see you again at the end of the month.